Hey, what's going on, guys? So recently I've been working on putting together my Hammerknight kit, and I've just about got it ready for paint here. It's almost there and just needs the last couple finishing touches. I'm thinking about, kind of what does it really need to finish it off, and I thought what it really needs probably is a friend. So today we're going to be taking a look here at the Hammerknight. So this is another version of that kit. Obviously this one has this big bazooka instead of the smart gun. And so I thought for today we'll just do a quick kind of unboxing just to kind of show you guys, what you get in and around this box. It's got a lot of cool stuff on here. So let's go ahead and check it out, and then I can get it all built up. Alright, so right here on the front we got the Robot Battle 5 logo, as this is, yes, technically not Maschinen Krieger, but Robot Battle 5, Hammerknight there. And let's just take a look at some of this beautiful artwork right there on the front from Koyokama-san 2017 there, signed. So we got the two Hammerknights, one in the background, but you only get one here in the box. It's not like a set of two of them or anything. Up here also pointing out the contents, what you have in there, basically the one kit, some decals, and that's really kind of about it. On the ends of the box we're going to have just basically the same information with one of the marking logos there. On the opposite side, as usual, it's kind of inverse colors and with a different marking logo there. On this side of the box we've got some backstory there in Japanese and here in English as well. So I'll go ahead and hold that there for you guys for a second. You can pause the video if you want to read through that. And then around on the other side, not really too much here. So we can go ahead and go to the bottom of the box. Here we've got a couple of example color schemes here. I don't think I'm going to go with either one of these for myself, for example, but you guys can see there, those look pretty cool. And then once we open this up, you can see that even on the inside of the lower part of the box, you've got some text around on there. It's pretty cool. And interestingly, it looks like this kit is molded in like an oxide red color, which will be helpful for if you want to, make it look kind of rusty with your painting, having that as your dark red base for the majority of the runners there, minus just a couple of extra little bits there. We'll talk about the runners in just a moment. Let's take a look at some of the other contents in here. So first off, our color card is going to have some backstory and color schemes for a couple of different examples here. Kind of off-white, green with yellow accents there. That one's pretty cool. I like the bright blue accents on that. That's kind of nice, a two-tone gray with the bright blue and then the kind of olive drab for the weapon. And then on this side, a third and fourth examples here. That bright red's pretty cool as well. I don't know. All right, so there's some different examples of colors, and then we've got our decals here. A lot of nice markings here in white, black, and red, and a little bit of yellow. Some numbers and some large markings down here. So a lot of really great options on there, as always. And then, of course, the instruction manual. So having just built the Hammerknight, it should be a pretty familiar build for me, but you can see it looks like there is going to be some parts on here that maybe we are not going to use. It's quite a lot of that M runner there, it looks like. But yeah, the construction, just as always with these kits, if you have any experience building different Maschinen Krieger kits, just follow the manual closely. There is English with almost everything in here. So anywhere where there's like a special note, it's there in Japanese and then in English as well. So just make sure that you pay attention to that. Anywhere where you see text, like here, again, for example, it's talking about note the position, note the direction of these particular parts on there. So yeah, just make sure you pay attention to stuff like that and you'll be fine. And if you're looking at this and wondering like, okay, L6, B1, those are the part numbers. What's the 116 number? That's actually denoting the paint number for this. If you go back here to the front page, this is your paint guide here. Unfortunately, this is also in Japanese and in English, but the paint numbers here correspond. So like 116 here is RLM 66 black gray. And I believe, if I remember correctly, the suggested paint colors there on the paint guide are for making it as it is on the box art. Because obviously if you wanted to go for one of the different alternative color schemes, then you would have to use whatever colors you need for that. Taking a look at some of the runners here, runner U is in black, which is going to be our soft parts for this. And we're not going to use this longer piece over here, just these two, which are going to go on the legs for the hoses that connect the legs to the lower body. Runner S is some of the clear parts here for the kit. That's kind of for that little mask visor part that goes on the front, a couple of little clear lens parts, and then these parts which are not going to be used for this one if I remember correctly from the manual there. We do also have some polycaps. These are going to be here in gray. We've got our runner here, which is the parts for the new weapon. This is runner G, 120 scale Mark 44 on there. You can see it's basically just the 2 halves, and then 2 halves here for the magazine, and then a couple extra little bits that go on there. So pretty simple construction there for that, of course. Then our pilot figure here, this is runner Q. I believe this is going to be the same as with the Hammerknight, and unfortunately we only have this one. We don't have a full standing figure as well, just the one that goes inside the cockpit. So you got that you can install in there if you want to. And then we got all of our runners here for the kit itself, which, as I said, is all in this kind of dark red color. It's not super dark, but again, as it goes with these, the color is usually determined, or it's usually planned, I should say, based on, you know, how you might want to paint and weather the kit, so that you can, you know, utilize that dark red to make it look like a sort of rust undertone for your paint colors. So just kind of going through these runners, just giving you guys kind of a quick overview of these. All the parts look very nice, of course. Just like with the Hammerknight kit, this L runner is, for some reason, in like a particularly much glossier, kind of different sheen of plastic. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but it was just kind of interesting while putting the Hammerknight together. I also realized that. Last couple here, you can see these are parts there for the feet and some other parts there for the legs. And then finally, runner M here, which, as we saw in the manual, is going to be mostly unused. So a lot of these parts on here that we're not actually going to use for this kit. But this one also seems to be in a little bit different kind of plastic blend. If you look at the two side by side, you can kind of see how the light reflects off these different. How on like most of the runners, it's a bit more of like a satin, kind of like your normal finish. But on this runner in particular, like the one I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a more of a high gloss, and I'm sure it's not meant to be like that for any particular reason. It's just whatever the plastic mixture they use for this is just a little bit different for some of the runners. Anyway guys, so that's it. So it should be pretty interesting to have this all built up before it's painted. Just to have it in just this red color should be pretty interesting, and it would work pretty well if you did want to go for that red color scheme as we saw on the paint card. But let me go ahead and get to work on building this up, and then I'll come back with a kind of building update and talk about some of the painting later on in an upcoming video. For now guys, thanks so much for checking this out. If you want to check out some more Machining Krieger model kits, paints and tools, supplies, you can check out the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store. And as always guys, thank you so much for your support, liking the video, commenting, subscribing. It's all greatly appreciated. Until next time, I hope you guys are all having a great day. See y'all later.